guys, welcome to Bees. Today we have a cutout in the corner of this house. This is an interesting one because, as you'll see, this is what we would call an open air hive. The bees are not in a cavity, they're just up in the corner of this house under the gutters. Very unusual, but we'll get to it and get to work. We're going to be working today with Devin from Element Apiaries. Thanks, Devin, for finding this cutout and interfacing with the homeowner and getting this all set up. We'll get started first by using the bee vacuum and collecting as many bees as possible. This allows us to work safely, and it also protects the bees while we're cutting and removing the comb. Unfortunately, the homeowner had sprayed this hive with bee killer before they knew they were honeybees. So we are not going to be able to reuse the comb because we don't want to introduce any of the chemicals in the bee spray to any of our hives or have those chemicals anywhere near any of our apiaries. As you can see, the bee vacuum is doing a great job getting most of the bees off the surface. We're just going to go into hyperspeed mode real quick and get the rest of these bees before we start removing the comb. Unfortunately, like I said before, the homeowner had used bee spray on these bees, so all this comb is going to get thrown away once we get all the bees off of it. We can't use it for building new hives because we don't want to expose bees to those chemicals, and we can't use it for candles or any other beeswax products. Unfortunately, as much as we'd like to use this comb, it's just not safe to use it for anything that would come in contact with bees or humans, so we have to discard it. Here's another view of the hive from a different angle. It shows you just how massive this hive is, and you can see that the combs go way up into the corner of that gutter. As you can see, these hive removals tend to be two-person jobs. It makes it much easier, especially if you have one person removing comb and the other person operating the vacuum, just to help catch as many bees as possible. All these bees will be transported back to one of our bee yards and be given fresh comb in a fresh hive where they can start building again and hopefully grow in time to become large enough to survive the winter. Unfortunately, these colony removals are very difficult on the bees and significantly sets them back in their development. Our goal is not to take any honey from this hive. We just want to get the bees strong enough so they can build a new hive and survive the winter. While this process will cause a lot of hardship for the bees, it's definitely safer for them to live in one of our apiaries than to live under the eaves of this house where the homeowner will probably try and spray them again. Of an interesting note, notice how the bees are running off of this piece of comb and heading back up toward their hive, trying to get away from the bee vacuum. Even if this colony were to be let alone and not sprayed again, the likelihood of them surviving our Pennsylvania winters is quite low. Our low temperatures often get down to 15 or 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is more than enough to kill the colony without good insulation around it. Most wild colonies live in hollow logs, which have 1, 2, or even up to 3 inches of solid wood insulation to protect them from the cold. Without that, this colony would almost certainly freeze to death. Alright guys, all the hard work's done and the bees are finally getting settled back into their new home at the apiary. Hopefully they do well. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, stay happy and healthy.